Vicky joins us today, and she is a self developed devotee and avid reader who turned that passion into the Level Up Book Club. Her journey has taken her through diverse landscapes, as they always seem to, from the corporate world all the way to running her own business. So, we are so excited to have you here today, Vicky, to share with us your story.
Hi, thanks so much for having me, Julian. It's so nice to be here. Um, yeah, so my story is, I hope it's like lots of other stories, to be honest. I hope it's not just a me story, but was, when I was at school, I was very like good girl, you know what I mean? Like I was top of the class. I wouldn't say boo to a goose. I was very, tried my absolute hardest. And I was told if you get the best grades possible, you'll go and have a great career. You'll go and get a degree. You'll try really hard at your degree, which I did. And then you'll go and have this amazing career. And I did all the steps. I went to university, did everything I was meant to do. And then the career bit just didn't happen. It just completely kind of fell apart, really. And I think, and why, when I say career, I mean corporate career, right? I mean glass offices, I mean power suits, I mean all that kind of stuff. And I got a graduate job. It was a very good graduate job. I got to travel the world. I'm very grateful for that. I got to work in Japan and America and all these amazing places. But I just two things were happening at the same time. The first thing was I wasn't necessarily enjoying it. I felt very stressed, very under pressure all the time. I felt a bit like I didn't belong there. And I think the reason I didn't necessarily feel like I belonged there was because I was maybe a bit quiet and maybe just a bit soft and not like the cutthroat, like The Apprentice, the Shark Tank, that kind of style. I just wasn't that at all. I was just a little bit softer and a little bit more, let's do this together and as a team and collaborative. And what I've since learned from that is that all I am is just a woman. And that's all that's happened. And that often women don't often have the same leadership style that the corporate world asks for, right? And then the second side of what was happening is, so the first side I was going through that realization. The second side was that I was in some really bad situations. So I've had some really toxic managers in the past. I've had some really dark, really awkward, horrible situations where now, 10, 15 years later, I would put my hand up and say, that's not okay. Like, that's not all right. We're talking about harassment, we're talking about racism, we're talking about really heavy stuff to be happening. And I'm sure it happens in the world, all over the world. But when you're a 21-year-old, you don't know. I didn't feel like I had the language or the tools to say that. I'm sure there's plenty 21-year-olds who know how to do that, but I didn't. So what's happened? Oh, and then COVID happened. Obviously, it's the catalyst for everyone. And like many people in COVID, I just reevaluated what I wanted and who I was and what I did. And it turns out you can lead a business, you can coach and collaborate and help other women and still be a leader in that field. Does that make sense? And still be successful. And all those soft things I was talking about earlier, they're valid and they're needed and they're real. They're a real core part of leadership. And so that's what I've done. I've turned it on its head, and now we're here to help women be the absolute best versions of themselves. We're here to level up other women, design, create the life that they need, get rid of that overwhelm that I had in my corporate life of not knowing and feeling so unsure of myself and that I didn't fit. And we all club together. And yeah, so this book club that I've created is for people like me who really wanted to develop and grow, but didn't just fit in the corporate structure. And that's okay. And now we have our own businesses and live our best lives. And we develop and grow together as women in the club. So yeah, that's a very brief overview.
So now I'm very curious. Tell me, like, how does that book club work? How did the books get selected? How do you engage with each other? Like, what's all the kind of meat and
Oh my
potatoes with it?
gosh, I love it. So the book club is a subscription box. Well, we have a subscription box, which is where you get a treat in the post every month because we all deserve a treat and we all need it. So you get the book, you get a treat, and that comes through the door. And then we have an online session, like an online book club, like you would a classic book club, but we do it on Zoom, so anyone all over the world can join. And if you don't want the treat, I mean, I don't understand, but I respect it. And then you can just have the online version if you wanted as well. The books are at the minute curated by me because I've read hundreds of them. And I'm not being funny, they're not all suited to women who don't want to climb the ladder. So it's really important. Oh, I'm so sorry, Gillian. I've got paint in my hair. Can you see that? It's because I was decorating earlier today.
That's what makes it real. It's like you've got paint in your hair. I'm
Yeah.
recording from a hotel lobby. I mean, this is how women have to live their lives. I mean, just
Damn
how
right.
it happens.
So the books are books that I've read, and I know that they're going to help the women who are in these situations, because again, rich dad, poor dad, great, but it doesn't, what if there was a mum in that situation? What if there was a woman in that situation? And the advice doesn't always cut through to women in the right way. So it's very carefully selected and curated, and they're books that are going to level up your life. They're books that are going to really focus and give you the tools that you need to have that bulletproof mindset to help your business or help your career, and give you really key actionable steps. So in the book groups, rather than sometimes looking at the whole book, we pick out specific chapters that we know are going to be the most more impactful, because what that does is it kind of takes the pressure off, because like you just said, as women, we're in a million things all the time. Sometimes you don't have time to read the whole book, so sometimes we just focus on a couple of chapters. And we know that these are going to be, let's cut through the guff and do the stuff that's actually going to help people. So that's another thing that we do. And we take all that thinking off you, basically. We lead you right down the path of what's going to level up your life.
So would you say someone, if they're listening to this and they're like, I need this, like I need books in my life, but I don't have time to scroll through Amazon, and I need like a good girlfriend giving me that great recommendation. What types of women would you say are best for your book club? Where are they in their life?
Good point. I think anyone who is in a career where they don't feel quite sure, definitely ambitious women, people who just feel like there is something better out there. There's got to be more to life than this. There's got to be more out there than this. And if that's you, come along and find those skills to give you the confidence to say, I want to make this life right for me. And that life doesn't have to be, I know we're talking a lot about careers and stuff, but it doesn't have to be that. So another thing that I did was ditch city life. So I was living in a city, and now I've moved to a magical forest in close to Wales in England, in the UK, sorry. And now I go on beautiful forest walks every day, and that's because that's the life I've created, and that's the life that I want. So if you're like, this life isn't working for me right now, come along and we'll help you get the skills to get that life for you.
And now, so if someone wants to find you online, and we can put all this in the show notes, like where would they look to sign up for your book club, and kind of what could they expect? When did the treats start coming? Like, what are all those details?
Super. So we've got a wait list at the minute because we want all people to meet together and have that real community base. And then the next opening is in July. I've got a little free gift that we can give your listeners as well, if you like. And that's kind of 5 books to get you started. So you don't have to wait for it through the post. You can just go off, and they're books that I've selected that I know are going to help you get the right foundations for this amazing life that we're going to create together. So I can pop that in the show notes for you as well. So definitely download that, and then that'll automatically join to the wait list, and then we can get going in July, and you can meet all the amazing women that are going to come and do it too.
I love this. This is so good, because I know I am that person. Like I want to read books, and I have all the intentions, and then I don't know which one. And then I get on Amazon and I just fall down this like rabbit hole there, and I just don't know. And then I have like paralysis where I just don't get anything then. So I like knowing that a reading expert has already kind of curated these books, and that they're going to kind of align with my goals. So I really like what you're offering.
Oh my gosh. And the other thing is, you know what you were saying about the paralysis, is that this was another thing I was doing, is that like I said, I've read so many of these self-help books because they're everywhere, aren't they? They're all over. Mm-hmm. And I was reading them and then putting them down and being like, that's a nice book. and I'd put it down and just carry on with my
Like, now
life.
what? Now what?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the other thing about the book club, is when you're talking to other people about it, you can create actions and little things that can actually impact your life like immediately. You don't need to wade through it all. We can make you a plan right there in the club, which means that you're not going to put it down and walk away. You're going to actually make the changes, which is what we want. So I guess that's
like
community though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So it's a book club with action and accountability, i.e.
Yes.
community. I think that's completely, because a lot of times I'll join book clubs in my neighborhood, which I love, but they just become excuses to drink wine, which I'm fine with.
Damn right.
But I like that this has, real, and that's the whole goal of the podcast, is to give people actionable steps and actionable things. So I like that that's what really resonated when I saw your book club, was that it really provided that extra element. So I'm excited to get this recorded and posted.
Sorry, and that's why exactly the same for you as well. That's why I kind of reached out to you, because I was like, I like this action. This is what we're here for, because you're in charge of your own destiny, right? And you're in charge. Like, sometimes, especially in corporate world, you feel like things are outside of your control, and we're so lucky nowadays that we've got the technology that we can do things like this together, and that we can spread messages and stuff like that. And it is your destiny. Go and get it.
I love it. Well, thanks for coming on today. We'll be sure to list all this down so folks can find you and get signed up for July. And I love that you're providing this service, because it's all these small things that people just don't think of asking for, but yet they want. Like, they want a curated list. Like, I would read books, but I need a curated list. I just need it to magically come to my house, so that's done for me. So I'm so glad that you took the initiative and did this.
And thank you. That's exactly what the Level Up Book Club is. So yeah, I'm pleased you've got it.
Wonderful. Awesome.